before we start, I'm just going to sit casual like that. She'll be out soon. She's going to come out. It's going to be real exciting when she does. It'll be great. Okay. So before we begin, I first wanted to tell you basically what GI is. Raise your hand if you've ever seen a GI before. Okay, cool. So some of you know what to expect. It's called group interpretation. It's a little bit different than a regular play for a lot of reasons. First of all, the characters do not really make eye contact. It's called offstage focus. So they will be looking out even though they're talking to each other. So that's kind of weird. That's one thing that GI does. Also, we have a lot of rules to follow since we compete. So there's no props allowed. There's no set allowed. There's no costumes allowed. So if we have a king, he cannot wear a crown. If he's fighting, he cannot have a sword. Everything has to be imagined. So it's very, very creative, and that's kind of why I personally love it so much. Everyone has to dress identically. If they don't, down to the shoes, to the hair, we get disqualified. So it's crazy rules. Also, this is our set. Everything you see here will be a lot of different things. It'll be houses, it'll be forests, it'll be castles, it'll be, because they make it with their bodies to help you imagine it. And it's really, really fun. So this year's show is called Maleficent. And it is, if you've seen the movie, it's based on the movie. And it is the story of the evil villain in Sleeping Beauty. You want me to be quiet? Oh, no. She's coming. I gotta talk to her first. So, Maleficent is the evil fairy who everybody, hates in Sleeping Beauty because she's evil. But this is her backstory, where you find out kind of why she is the way she is, and it's kind of her side of it. This year we have done really, really well as a group. At Festival, we got straight superior rankings, which is the highest ranking you can get from all judges. We had 6 all-cast members selected for conference all-cast. Okay. And what was I saying? And at sectionals, there were 9 schools there, and you have to be top 3 to go to state. We did do that. We got 2nd place. And it's a huge deal. The kids made it to the state competition, and they're going to be representing JWHS in Springfield. AJ's our assistant, but he's being shy for once. So anyway, really exciting. We had 5 all-sectional cast members, and we're leaving tomorrow for state, so we'll be there all weekend, and hopefully we do well. We're really excited. Are the kids lined up back there? Okay, well, then I guess all there is to do now is the group show.
Let us tell an old story anew, and we will see how well you know it.
Once upon a time, there were 2 kingdoms who were the worst of neighbors. So vast was the discord between them that only a great hero or a terrible villain might bring them together.
In one kingdom lived the human folk, with a vain and greedy king to rule over them. They were discontent and envious of the wealth and beauty of their neighbors. For in the moors lived every strange and wonderful creature, and they needed neither king nor queen, but trusted in one another. On a great cliff in the moors lived one such spirit. She was not just any girl. She was fairy, and her name was Maleficent.
Based on the screenplay by Linda Wolverton.
And the novel adaptation by Elizabeth Rudnick.
Unfolding her wings, Maleficent soared on the wind over the moors, greeting the creatures as she passed them.
Morning! What's all the fuss about? Maleficent, did you hear? The border guards have... Why don't you get to tell her? I want to tell her.
I want to.
Tell me what? Maleficent, the border guards have found a human thief in the pool of jewels! Sorry. Come out.
No, they mean to kill me. And besides, they're hideous to look at.
Oh, that's extremely rude.
Don't listen to him. You're wonderful.
It isn't right to steal you. Come out this instant.
Who are you?
I'm called Stefan. Who are you?
I'm Maleficent. Do you intend us harm?
What? No!
Blah. Yes, right. You have to give it back.
If I knew you'd throw it away, I would have kept it.
I didn't throw it away. I delivered it home, as I'm going to do for you.
Maleficent stared at the castle in the distance, wondering what could be so appealing about such high walls.
Someday, I'll live there. In the castle.
Where do you live now?
In a barn.
So your parents are farmers then?
My parents are dead.
Mine too.
We'll see each other again.
You really shouldn't come back here, you know.
And if I made that choice, would you be here?
Perhaps. Ow!
What's wrong?
Your ring!
Iron burns fairies.
I'm sorry. I like your wings.
Maleficent thought about how Stefan cast away his ring. He who had so little in the world, so that their hands might touch again. And her heart was moved. Thus did the young thief, who had hoped to steal a jewel, steal something far more precious.
Well, look who came back.
I thought it worth the risk.
Stefan and Maleficent became the most unlikely of friends. And for a time, it seemed as if the old hatred between men and fairies had been forgotten.
As it will, friendship slowly turned into something else.
Your wings. They're beautiful.
They're special, aren't they?
Then, Stefan looked up at Maleficent's horns. They are far and away the most majestic horns I have ever seen.
And on her 16th birthday,
Stefan gave her a gift. He told her it was
True love's kiss.
while Maleficent rose to become the protector of the Moors,
Stefan's ambition called him toward the temptations of the human kingdom. Maleficent had never understood the greed of man, but she was to learn. For the human king had heard of a growing power in the Moors, and he sought to strike it down.
The mysterious moors, where no man dare venture, for fear of the magical creatures that lurk within. Well, I say, crush them!
Go no further.
A king does not take orders from a winged elf.
You are no king to me.
Bring me her head!
Rise and stand with me.
He came to destroy everything she cared about.
You will not have the Moors. Now or ever!
Defeated a battle. Is this to be my legacy? I shall choose a successor to take the throne. Kill the wicked creature. And upon my death, you shall have the throne.
Maleficent! Maleficent!
So
So, how's life with the humans?
Maleficent, I've come to warn you. He means to kill you. King Henry will stop at nothing. Please,
You have to trust me. They spoke of many things, and the years faded away. She loved and was loved in return.
He offered her a drink from his flask.
The last thought she had before sleep overcame her was that maybe she would get to live happily ever after. Kill. She had been betrayed.
Stolen her heart.
And her wings. The part of her that believed in love died that day. Stefan had seen to that.
I have avenged you, sire.
She is vanquished. You have done what others have feared to do. And you will be rewarded.
I will be a worthy successor, Your Majesty.
Maleficent let darkness take hold of her heart. There was nothing left for her in this cruel world.
True, Stefan had taken her wings and broke her heart. But she still had her magic and a mission. She was going to make Stefan pay for what he had done.
I gotcha, you wicked bird, into a man.
There was a shimmer of magic, and the raven transformed into a human. It's a demon!
What have you done to my beautiful self?
Would you rather I let her beat you to death?
I am not certain.
Stop complaining. I saved your life.
Forgive me.
What do I call
Diaval. And in return for my life, I am your servant. Whatever you need.
it? Wings. I need you to be my wings.
Over the next year, Maleficent spent most of her time with Diaval. She sent him on daily missions to bring back news, hearing all about Stefan's new life as king and his beautiful wife. He did this to me so he would be king.
It took all of her energy to quell the infuriating surge of hurt within her. Well,
Well, I saw nothing, but I heard there's been
a what?
a child. King Stefan and the Queen have had a child.
Oh.
There will be a christening. They say it's to be a grand celebration.
How wonderful. The whole kingdom came to the christening, even a trio of fairies who sought to foster goodwill.
Oh, there's the baby.
I love babies! Greetings, Your Majesty!
I am not brass of the fair fold.
I'm little, your kingship.
And I'm Dissolate, Your Royalness is.
They bring gifts for our daughter. Oh, these are not just any old gifts. For you see, we're magic and very good with children.
Very
Sweet Aurora, I wish for you the gift of beauty. My wish is that you'll never be blue, only happy for the rest of your days.
Sweet baby, my wish for you is lightning flashed and dark smoke filled the hall.
Maleficent.
Well, well. What a glittering assemblage, King Stefan. The
royalty, the nobility, the gentry, and how quaint, even the rebel. I really feel quite distressed at not receiving an invitation.
You're not welcome here.
Oh, what an awkward situation.
And you're not offended?
Why, no, your majesty. And to show you that I bear no ill will, I too shall bestow a gift on the child. Anger and jealousy swirled inside of her like a tempest. Listen well, all of you. The princess shall indeed grow in grace and beauty, loved by all who meet her.
That's a lovely gift.
But before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she will prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and fall into a sleep like death. A sleep from which she will never awaken.
Maleficent, don't do this. I'm begging you.
I like you begging. Do it again.
I beg.
All right. The princess can be woken from her death sleep, but only by true love's kiss. This curse will last until the end of time. No power on earth can change it.
Stephen shut himself behind the walls of his castle, while his soldiers roamed far and wide to hunt Maleficent down. But she made thorn walls of her own, so that the Moors might never again suffer the touch of any human.
She reveled in the sorrow that her curse had brought.
King Stephen ordered his men to seize every spinning wheel in the kingdom.
They were destroyed and thrown into the deepest dungeon in the castle.
Secretly, he entrusted the safety of the child to the pixies, who would take her to a remote hideaway for 16 years and a day.
It's so ugly I could almost feel sorry for it. I hate you, beastie.
Yet the best plans often go wrong, and Maleficent couldn't help but keep an eye on Aurora. Soon, the infant had grown into a beautiful child.
Go away, go. Maleficent tried to ignore the warm feeling growing in her heart. I don't like children. Go away.
Maleficent was struck by Aurora's complete innocence. The princess had no idea what her future held, or what her father had done.
Maleficent had been that innocent once, and look where it got her.
In his castle, King Stephen grew weak and more paranoid. He had been up all night, staring at the object that tormented him. Raven black wings, hanging in a glass case.
Maleficent's wings.
You mock me. I know what you're doing.
Sire, Majesty, your presence is requested by the Queen.
Leave me.
Sire, she is not well. The nurses are fearful she won't make it through the night.
Shh! Can you not see that we're having a conversation? Intended to represent my triumph, my strength. And yet, you exist only to mock me, to remind me. I spare her life, and this is my reward! A curse upon my child, upon me! When the curse fails, Maleficent will come for me. And on that day, I shall not be benevolent! I will slay her as I should have done then, and I shall burn her darkness to ash! And then, you will be once again a trophy. Nothing more.
Aurora grew in grace and beauty, far away from the palace that she remembered not. And as the seasons changed and the flowers grew, so did she. She began to wonder about the world around her, and about what lay beyond the fearsome wall of thorns.
Curious little beastie. I wonder. Sleep. Come, come.
I know you're there. Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid.
Then come out.
Then you'll be afraid.
Maleficent stepped out of the darkness. A beam of moonlight cast her shadow on the ground.
I know who you are. You're my fairy godmother.
Your what?
Fairy godmother? You've been watching over me my whole life. I've always known you were close by. Your shadow's been following me ever since I was small. Wherever I went, it was always with me.
This is Diva.
I remember you, pretty bird.
Hello, my dear. I've known you since you were a little one.
It's just so beautiful.
Sleep!
Maleficent guided Aurora to the cottage and gently lowered her into bed.
Good night. Beastie.
Night after night, Maleficent brought Aurora to the moors.
She had found a kindred spirit, someone whom she could teach,
And someone from whom she could learn.
Do all the fair people have wings?
Most do.
Then why don't you? All the other fairies fly.
I had wings once, but they were stolen from me, and that's all I wish to say about it.
What color were they? Were they big?
So big that they dragged behind me when I walked. And they were strong. I could trust them. They never faltered, not once. She had never said aloud how much her wings had meant to her.
And how much it hurt when Stefan took them away. One night, only a few weeks before her 16th birthday, Maleficent brought Aurora to the cottage. And as she had done for many nights, she pulled the covers up gently and said,
Good night, Beastie.
But on this particular evening, she added,
I retract my curse. Let it be no more.
as the words left her mouth, the room filled with magic. The air crackled and shimmered, but the magic didn't touch Aurora.
I retract my curse. Let it be no more. The curse could not be undone. Soon, Aurora would prick her finger on the spindle of the spinning wheel and
Never wake up.
If only her fate were as cheerful as an afternoon in the park. Aurora, there's something I need to tell you.
what is it?
There's an evil in this world, and I cannot keep you from it.
I'm almost 16, Godmother. I can take care of myself.
I understand, but that's
I
not...
have a plan. When I'm older, I'm going to live here in the moors with you. Then we can look after each other.
You don't have to wait until you're older. You could live here now.
Then I will. I'll sleep in a tree, and all the fair people will be my friends. I'm so excited. I'll tell my aunties tomorrow. Aunties, I'm almost 16, and I need a life of my own. You've been very good to me. Except that one time you accidentally fed me spiders.
Hello? Pardon me, but I'm on my way to see the king, and I've become hopelessly lost. Can you help me? I'm sorry. That was my doing.
It's that way. The castle. What's your name?
Philip. It's Philip.
Hello, Philip.
What's yours?
Aurora.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you, Aurora. And my apologies for being such a clumsy fool.
You are forgiven.
Well, I'd best be on my way then. Goodbye.
Will you be back this way?
Nothing could stop me.
That boy is the answer.
No, Diva.
Yes, true love's kiss, remember? It can break the curse.
True love's kiss? Have you not worked it out yet? I cursed her that way because there is no such thing.
It was the day before Aurora's 16th birthday. Anticipation floated in the air like an unspoken promise.
Oh, I'm so happy we're leaving tomorrow!
Dawn.
Aunties, I'll be turning 16 tomorrow, and so
Happy birthday to you!
I'm leaving home.
Oh, see here, young lady. I did not spend 16 years in this miserable hovel with these two imbeciles. Just so that you can do this on the last day. We're taking you back to your father.
You told me my parents were dead.
Aurora's world was spinning. Everything she had ever known was a lie.
Fairy godmother! When were you going to tell me that I'm cursed? Is it true?
It is.
My auntie said it was an evil fairy. I can't remember her name. They said it was...
Maleficent.
Is that you? Are you Maleficent? No! Don't touch me! You're the evil that's in this world! It's you!
The princess can be woken, but only by true love's kiss.
Find the boy.
Maleficent raced toward the castle with Philip. She could almost see Aurora, pacing back and forth, feeling a strange ache in the tip of her finger.
The princess would make her way through the entire castle, looking for the one thing that would take away the pain.
A spinning wheel. The curse had been fulfilled. A huge bed dominated the center of Aurora's room. Heavy curtains draped on either side of the beautiful, sleeping princess.
Look at her. Look at what you've done.
Well, she's only sleeping.
She's only sleeping, you say? She's only sleeping forever!
Well, what about the kiss?
Yes, true love's kiss.
True love does not exist.
But it's her only chance, Your Majesty. Well, we can't just give up, can we? We don't even know where to start.
True love just doesn't fall from trees.
Wait.
Hello? Pardon me, but I'm embarrassed to say I don't know where I am. My father sent me to see the kings.
Who is your father?
King John of Ulstead.
Prince!
Aurora! Why is she sleeping?
She's trapped in enchantment. Isn't she beautiful?
She's the most beautiful girl I have ever seen.
Do you want to kiss her?
Here it is.
We'll go on then.
I wouldn't feel right about it. We've only met just once.
Haven't you ever heard of love at first sight? Go on, kiss her.
And enchantment, you say?
Kiss her!
It was the perfect kiss. The kind of kiss love poems are written about.
But it didn't matter. Aurora didn't wake up. Maleficent's heart sank. She should have known. True love did not exist. I was certain he was the one. I will not ask you for your forgiveness.
Because
what I have done to you is unforgivable. I was so lost in hatred and revenge. Sweet Aurora, you stole what was left of my heart. And now I have lost you forever. But I promise, no harm shall come to you as long as I live. And not a day shall pass that I don't miss your smiles.
The princess can be woken from her death sleep, but only by...
Hello, godmother.
Hello, beastie.
True love.
As they made their way through the castle, something didn't feel right.
With a growing sense of dread, Maleficent looked up.
Falling from the ceiling was a giant iron net!
Run, Aurora!
The moment the iron touched her skin, she felt a searing pain rush through her body.
Into a dragon!
Theobald's feathers were replaced by dark scales as his fiery breath scorched the hall.
Theobald pulled the net off Maleficent,
But she was not safe. Stefan had arrived with an iron whip in hand.
Ah! How does it feel to be a fairy creature without wings in a world where you don't belong?
There was an earth-shattering crack, and Maleficent rose from an explosion of light. Hovering in the air were her wings. Aurora had found them.
You won't kill me. I'm your father.
It's over.
Over.
Ah!
Stefan raised his knife and rushed toward her.
they plummeted toward the ground.
Before she could grab him, Stefan fell. His body hit the ground and lay there, lifeless.
Stefan had been the first person to have loved her, and the first person she had loved. He had been her blessing
And her curse.
Maleficent brought down her wall of thorns and invited Aurora to see how the moors had been when Maleficent was a child.
And her heart was bright.
Hurry up! They're waiting!
Wait for me!
We present this crown to our little Aurora, for whom we have sacrificed the best years of our... Never mind.
Aurora would make a great and noble queen, one to unite the lands and bring the humans and fair folk together.
Our kingdoms have been unified. You have your queen.
Woo!
So you see, the story is not quite as you were told. In the end, the kingdom was not united by a hero or a villain as legend had predicted, but by one who was both hero and villain.
And her name was...
Maleficent.